हरि ओं नमः सर्वेभ्यः। अद्य भाषा प्रवेश प्रथमभागस्य 1:40 कक्षार्थं भवतां सर्वेषां स्वागतम्। गतकक्षायां तदा किं किं भविष्यति इत्यस्मिन् पाठे भविष्यत्कालाभ्यासं तत्र एकं कथां वयम् अधीतवन्तः। अग्रे क्रियापदविभजनम् इत्यस्मिन् नूतनविषयं वयं ज्ञातवन्तः। तत्र यदि काचित् क्लिष्टक्रिया भवति तस्याः विभजनम् अपि तस्य पदस्य विभजनं कृत्वा सुलभरूपेण तत्र कृ धातुं प्रयुज्य वयं सरलसम्भाषणं कर्तुं शक्नुमः इति ज्ञातवन्तः। यथा बालकः पठति क्रिया सरलक्रिया वर्तते, परन्तु तत्रापि क्रियापदविभजनं कर्तुं शक्यते। यथा पठति इत्यत्र पठनं करोति इति भवति। अतः बालकः पठति, बालकः पठनं करोति, बालको पठतः, बालको पठनं कुरुतः, बालकाः पठन्ति, बालकाः पठनं कुर्वन्ति। सो एवं क्रियापदविभजनं ज्ञातवन्तः। तत्र या कापि वा क्रिया भवतु सर्वेषां धातूनामपि एतादृश क्रियापदविभजनं कर्तुं शक्नुमः। तदनुगुणम् एकवारं लघु परिचयं पश्यामः। तत्र शिशुः रोदिति, अत्र रोदिति इति विशेषक्रिया वर्तते। यतः तत्र रुद्धातोः रूपाणि भिन्नानि भवन्ति। तथैव माता ददाति, पुनः रामः हन्ति, अनन्तरं सः छिनत्ति, अनन्तरं भक्तः वन्दते। एतेषां क्रियापदरूपाणि भिन्नानि भवन्ति। भिन्नानि इत्युक्ते विशेषाणि भवन्ति। अतः क्लिष्टरूपम् इति वक्तुं शक्यते। यदि नूतन अभ्यासकः भवति तस्य कश्चन क्लेशः भवति अत्र एतेषां क्रियापदानां स्मरणे। अतः अत्र रूपाणि पश्यामः चेत् सम्पूर्णतया भिन्नानि भवन्ति। अत्र रोदिति, रुदितः, रुदन्ति, अनन्तरं ददाति, दत्तः, ददति, हन्ति, हतः, घ्नन्ति, अनन्तरं छिनत्ति, छिन्तः, छिन्दन्ति, अनन्तरं वन्दते, वन्देते, वन्दन्ते। एवम् अतः सरलतया कथं वक्तुं शक्नुमः? क्रियापदं विभजनं कृत्वा वक्तुं शक्नुमः। यतः शिशुः रोदिति, शिशुः रोदनं करोति, माता ददाति, माता दानं करोति, रामः हन्ति, रामः हननं करोति, पुनः सः छिनत्ति, सः छेदनं करोति, भक्तः वन्दते, भक्तः वन्दनं करोति। एवं सरलतया वक्तुं शक्यते। उदाहरणं यदि केवलं करोति क्रियापदस्य यदि भवन्तः सर्वाणि रूपाणि जानन्ति तर्हि क्रियापदविभजनं सरलं भवति। यतः करोति, कुरुतः, कुर्वन्ति, करोषि, कुरुतः, कुरुतः, करोमि, कुर्वः, कुर्मः। यदि उदाहरणं पश्यामश्चेत् बालकः पठति, बालकः पठनं करोति, पिता नयति, पिता नयनं करोति, माता चिन्तयति, माता चिन्तनं करोति, महिला गायति, महिला गानं करोति, शिशुः रोदिति, शिशुः रोदनं करोति, भक्तः वन्दते, भक्तः वन्दनं करोति, सस्यं वर्धते, सस्यं वर्धनं करोति, शिक्षकः भाषते, शिक्षकः भाषणं करोति, वृक्षः कम्पते, वृक्षः कम्पनं करोति, दीपः प्रकाशते, दीपः प्रकाशनं करोति, भक्तः भजते, भक्तः भजनं करोति, वयं दद्मः, वयं दानं कुर्मः, बालाः रुदन्ति, बालाः रोदनं कुर्वन्ति, रामः हन्ति, रामः हननं करोति, सः छिनत्ति, सः छेदनं करोति, भक्तः इक्षते, भक्तः ईक्षणं करोति। एतावत्पर्यन्तं गतकक्षायां वयं दृष्टवन्तः। अग्रे वयं किञ्चित् अधिकं पश्यामः अस्मिन् विषये एव। अत्र पश्यामश्चेत् सर्वदा बालकः पठति क्रियापदस्य विभजनं भवति। एकवारं चिन्तयामः चेत् क्रियापदस्य विभजनम् इत्युक्ते तत्र एकपदस्थाने पदद्वयं तत्र भवति। अत्र द्वे पदे भवतः अत्र पठति इति एकं पदम् अस्ति, तस्मिन् स्थाने पठनं करोति इति द्वे पदे भवतः। इदानीं तत्र किञ्चित् तत्र अवलोकनं कुर्मः। तो बालकः पठनं करोति, अत्र बालकः करोति, बाय् डस्। बालकः किं करोति इति प्रश्नं कुर्मः चेत् बालकः पठनं करोति इति उत्तरं भवति। अतः अत्र पठनम् इति किं प्रश्नस्य उत्तरं भवति। यदि यथा वयं पूर्वमेव अधीतवन्तः, यदि यत्किमपि किं प्रश्नस्य उत्तरं भवति तत् कर्मपदं भवति, दट् बिकम्स् एन् आब्जेक्ट्। तथैव अत्र अपि पठनं करोति इत्यत्र पठनम् इति किं प्रश्नस्य उत्तरम् अस्ति, अतः पठनम् इत्यपि कर्मपदं भवति। हियर् द पठनं विल् आल्सो बि एन् आब्जेक्ट्। तथैव तत्र यदि कर्मपदं भवति तस्य द्वितीया विभक्तिः भवति इति जानीमः। So when we get object case, we get a द्वितीया विभक्ति. So पठनं करोति इत्यत्र पठनम् इत्यस्य विभक्तिः द्वितीया विभक्तिः। तथैव वचनम् एकवचनं, लिङ्गं नपुंसकलिङ्गम्। अतः पठन इति प्रातिपदिकं, पठनम् इति प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचनरूपं नपुंसकलिङ्गशब्दः, तद् वयं शृणुमः। सर्वत्र एवमेव भवति। नयनं, चिन्तनं, गानं, रोदनं, वन्दनं, वर्धनं, भाषणं, सर्वत्र एतद् नपुंसकलिङ्गपदं, तथैव प्रथमाविभक्ति एकवचनपदं। तदपि अत्र द्वितीया विभक्तौ अत्र एतत् पदं प्रयुक्तं वर्तते। Okay, that is one thing we need to remember. And second thing is, will all the verbs have this form, like patati, patanam, and nayati, nayanam, chintayati, chintanam? The answer is yes. All the dhatus will have this particular form. Okay, and this is generally when you say patanam, it's just action of doing. It's just action of the kriya. So it doesn't say which tense it is. It just says it's just an action. Patanam is just action of studying is patanam, and similarly nayanam, action of carrying is nayanam. But that action is currently happening, or it will happen, or it happened. That is actually denoted by karoti or the karoti forms. Okay, so basically we are actually taking actual meaning of the dhatu, and basically you can say it's a noun form of that verb, and plus we suffix that karoti forms. So it's something like by studies, instead of that by does studying. Okay, something similar to that. Okay, that is one thing. And second thing is of course the second thing is will all the verbs or all the dhatus will have this particular form? Yes, all the verbs or dhatus will have this form. And but the thing here to note is the similar forms of all the dhatus may not be that easier, or sometimes it may not be that familiar to us. For example, if you take prachati, prachanam is the word we generally get. That's the noun form of that prachadhatu. Prachanam is the word. But shikshakah prachanam karoti is it is correct, grammatically it is correct, no issues, but it doesn't look that familiar when we speak, right? So in that cases we sometimes use some different forms like prashna. Then we'll say prashnam karoti. And similarly you might also see some other verbs I think going forward. Example, mata pachati. Mata pachanam karoti, but the pachanam is the right noun form for pachati, but still it looks little unfamiliar compared to pakam. So mata pakam karoti is little more familiar and understandable for us. So in those cases generally certain verbs we try to use the familiar words which others can actually understand, though we know that it is the right form, but still we say that pakam karoti just to make it more familiar and easy to understand for the listener. Okay, that is one thing. And now coming back to the patanam karoti, what are these forms actually? The patanam, or nayanam, or chintanam, or ganam, or rodanam, what are these forms? Basically when you get there are dictionaries for the dhatus, there are various resources for dhatus, but how do we find what this form is? So basically every word in Sanskrit is generated by attaching some pratyayas with the dhatu. Even if you take karoti example, kru plus some pratyaya and then some derivation, so it becomes karoti. And similarly, if you take Ramaha Shabda, is again from some, eventually it is from, though it is from Pratipadikam called Rama, but even that Pratipadikam Rama has come from some dhatu called Ramu. Ramu Kridayam, there's a dhatu called Ram. And from Ram, we attach some pratyaya and we do some processing, then it becomes Rama. Okay, and similarly, every word in Sanskrit, they all originated from the dhatu. Okay, and similarly, even if you take Patanam, it is also originated from the dhatu called Pat. Of course, there are it is very much similar to the dhatu, so you can easily identify. But most of the words, every word is actually generated from dhatu. That is one thing we need to remember. And for generating such words, we take dhatu and we attach some pratyaya and we do some processing to get that word. And similarly, for Patanam, we take the Bhat dhatu and we attach a pratyaya called Lut. Lut is the pratyaya. We attach that, and by processing that, it becomes Patanam. So, for example, we have studied some pratyaya called Tavatu, right? Pat plus Tavatu becomes Patitavan, Patitavati at the end. And similarly, Pat plus Lut, it becomes Patanam. Patana is a Pratipadikam, then when we derive the Vibhakti form, it becomes Patanam. Okay, similarly, if you see everywhere, whenever the Ni plus, for Nayati, Ni plus Lut, it is Nayanam, and for Chintayati, Chintaya plus Lut, it's Chintanam, and Gayati, Gi plus Lut, Ganam, and Roditi, Ruth plus Lut, Rodanam. So Vandate, Vand or Vadi plus Lut, it becomes Vandanam. So basically every word what you see, Patanam or Nayanam or Bhashanam or Kampanam, they are all derived, they are all the Lut pratyayanta forms of the corresponding dhatus. Okay, but of course the Lut pratyaya can be added to any dhatu to derive this particular form, but at the same time, not all the forms are kind of that familiar or easy for using it, so we just go with some similar pratyayas which gives a similar meaning. Okay, for example, let's take Sikshakaha Parikshate. Okay, Parikshate is examining. Okay, teachers does some examination. So in this case, Sikshakaha Parikshanam Karoti, that is a Lut form of that Parikshate, and even there is another word called Pariksha, that is again there is another pratyaya called Top. It gives a similar meaning, so we go with that actually. So Sikshakaha Pariksham Karoti. Okay, that is a little easier than Sikshakaha Parikshanam Karoti. So it's all up to how much you are exposed to the different words and which one you feel familiar, you can use it. But both are actually same. The takeaway from here is we need to use some noun form of that verb which will give the meaning of that action of that particular kriya. If that is the case, you can definitely use it. So the most easiest form is the Lut is the pratyaya. The Lut pratyayanta words are little easier, like Patanam, Nayanam or Chintanam. And similarly, you may also see some other words. For example, for Pachati, Pachanam is the Lut pratyayanta padam, but there is another pratyaya called Ghai. Okay, when you attach Ghai pratyaya, it becomes Paka. So again, Pakam Karoti or Pachanam Karoti, both are the same, and Pakaha or Pachanam both means the same. Okay, there is no difference at all in terms of meaning. It's just that there are two forms, and as there are two forms, of course there are two different pratyayas. Okay, basically there are few pratyayas like this, Lut and Ghai, Tin or Top, and there are few pratyayas. But we don't really have to go in deeper, but the takeaway is we can use any such pratyayas or any such four different forms to give to indicate the action of the kriya to make a kriya pada vibhajanam. Okay, that's the takeaway from here. Okay, so any questions so far? Let's move on to the next.
Namaste. That chintayati, it is chintanam. Why that ya is not included in this?
Okay, so
it
there
are it is chintayanam.
Okay, no, it is not, because the dhatu is chinta is the dhatu and it becomes chintanam. And most of the cases there are some wherever in general, right, wherever you get okay, there is a set of dhatus. For them we get yati at the end. For example, pathayati,
Gayati.
Gayati, no, not Gayati. Chintayati and Chorayati, Nartayati. So all these, right, yatis, generally that yati will not be considered. Only that base dhatu is Patha is a dhatu, and Chinta is a dhatu, and Chora is a dhatu. For all of them it becomes Patanam, Chintanam, Choranam, and so on. And similarly for Gayati, I think there is a
Gayati also, it is written as Ganam, no?
Yes, Ganam. But it is different derivation, but you just need to remember that actually. You can even go with the same, like Chorayati, Choranam, Gayati, Ganam. You can remember that way also.
Okay. And one more thing is for nam, it is Shikshakaha Bhashate. There, the na is different. That applies that rule. The previous video you showed, no? From that it is we can find it out.
Yeah, same Natto rule, yes, correct. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Same Bhashanam and Ikshanam Natto Millaka.
Thank you.
Hari Om Mahodaya.
Hari Om.
Namaskara. Even for Atmanepati dhatus, the ending will be only karoti form, right?
Yes,
like Vandate, Vandanam, Karoti, Vardhanam.
Correct. And just to add here, maybe others maybe feel irrelevant here, but see, for Balakaha, Patanam Karoti, though Patati is the Parasmepadi dhatu, as we are using Ku or Karoti form, you can still use Atmanepadi Pada form like Balakaha Patanam Kurute. That's again still correct.
Oh. So Vandanam Kurute also may be right, but now for our level,
yeah, Vandanam Kurute is also. But let us not use Atmanepadi for Bhasha Pravesha Level only.
So we will only use the Karoti endings for all the dhatus.
Yes.
Then something about Prakshanam, you said Prashnam Karoti or Prakshanam Karoti?
Prashnam Karoti is the ideal one, but Prashnam Karoti is also not a bad one, not a wrong one.
Prashnam Karoti is for spoken. So like something like Vadayati, what is it? Uktam Karoti, Vadanam Karoti.
Vadanam Karoti, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mahodaya.
So let us move on a bit. So now I hope you understand why we use this particular forms. And sometimes even if you take, I think last class there was a question like for Shaknoti, what is the form? Like for Shaknoti, the allude form is Shakanam, but it is not generally used that popularly. It is not used. So Balakaha Shaknoti, boy is capable or boy can do. Okay, but it is we generally use the alternative Pratyanta form that is called tin form, that becomes Shakti. So basically Balakaha Shaknoti, Balakaha Shaktin Karoti. So that's the way usually you do Kriyapada Vibhajanam for Shaknoti. But even if you do, if you say Balakaha Shakanam Karoti, it's not a wrong, but it is not used that similarly. That's the word. Okay, so next we will move on a bit. So now if you see Balakaha Patanam Karoti, it is good. We have a subject and a verb called Karoti, and Patanam is a object for this sentence. Okay, now the another interesting factor comes. What happens if we have the object in the original sentence itself? For example, Balakaha balakaha shlokam patati. Okay, here shloka is the object for the previous original sentence. Balakaha shlokam patati. So in that case, what happens? So in that case, patati becomes patanam karoti. There is no change. But what happens to shlokam? Then balakaha shlokam patanam karoti. There will be then two objects in the same sentence. Okay, but it's not the case. Then we need to change that original object into a different vibhakti. So in the original sentence, the object was in Ditya Bhakti. Now when you make a Kriyapada Vibhajanam, the original object becomes, it will be represented in the Sashti Vibhakti, and of course then the remaining Kriyapada Vibhajanam words will come or will follow. For example, Balakaha Shlokam Patati. Shloka is the original object. So now when you do a Kriyapada Vibhajanam, the shloka, the original object will be represented in the Shashti form. So it becomes Balakaha Shlokasya Patanam Karoti. Okay, similarly, Pita Pustakam Nayati, Pita Pustakasya Nayanam Karoti. Okay, and Bhaktaha Devam Vandate, Bhaktaha Devasya Vandanam Karoti. Okay, and similarly, Vayam Dhanam Dadmaha, so Vayam Dhanasya Danam Kurmaha. So wherever you get the object, this that corresponding object's Sashti form will be used when you do the Kriyapada Vibhajanam. Okay, see, and similarly, not only that, okay, let us see some examples and understand that. So Balakaha Patham Patati, so Balakaha Patasya Patanam Karoti, and Pita Pustakam Nayati, Pita Pustakasya Nayanam Karoti, Mata Karyam Chintayati, Mata Karyasya Chintanam Karoti, and Mahila Shlokam Gayati, Mahila Shlokasya Ganam Karoti, and Chhatraha Katham Likhati, Chhatraha Kathayaha Lekhanam Karoti. So hope you are able to understand this. So now, if you see always Patanam, Nayanam, Achintanam or Ganam, always these words will always be in the Ekavachanam. But when you get any object like a Patha or Pustaka or Karya or Shloka, if they are in Divivachanam, your translated Shashti form will also be the corresponding Divivachanam Shashti form should be used. Or if it is a Bahuvachanam, the corresponding Bahuvachanam Shashti form should be used here. Let us see some example. So Balakaha Pathan Patati. So here Pathan, so Ba studies multiple lessons. So here Pata Shabdaha is in Bahuvachanam. So we have to use the corresponding Sashti Bahuvachanam. It becomes Balakaha Pathanam Patanam Karoti. So Pathanam is the Sashti Bahuvachanam form of Pata Shabda. And similarly, Pita Pustakani Nayati, Pita Pustakanam Nayanam Karoti, Mata Karyani Chintayati, Mata Karyanam Chintanam Karoti. And similarly, Mahila Shlokan Gayati, Mahila Shlokanam Ganam Karoti, Chhatraha Kathaha Likhati, Chhatraha Kathanam Lekhanam Karoti. If it is a Divivachanam, again it becomes Balakaha Pathayoho Patanam Karoti, Pita Pustakeyoho Nayanam Karoti, Mata Karyayoho Chintanam Karoti, Mahila Shlokayoho Ganam Karoti, Chhatraha Kathayoho Lekhanam Karoti. So basically you need to use the corresponding Shashti form of that Ditya Bhakti. Okay, so with this, if there are any questions we'll take up, else we'll move on to a short exercise on this. You just need to take any word, any sentence which has object like Balakaha Patham Patati, and translate them into with another sentence with the Kriyapada Vibhajanam in all three Vachanams if possible.
If I want to say I invite guests. Aham Atitayah, or one guest, I'll go first. Aham Atithim Avayami. So it will be Atithim, no, Atithe Avanam Karomi.
Ahvanam Karomi.
Ahvanam Karomi. Aham अतिथयोः आह्वानं करोमि. अहम् अतिथीनाम् आह्वानं करोमि.
नमो नमः. अहं मूर्तिम् अलङ्कारं करोमि. अहं मूर्तेः अलङ्कारं करोमि. अहं मूर्तयोः मूर्तीनाम् अलङ्कारं करोमि. सम्यक् वा?
अलङ्कारं करोमि. मूर्तीनाम् अलङ्कारं करोमि.
नमो नमः.
नमः.
अहं देवस्य पूजनं करोमि. अहं देवयोः पूजनं करोमि. अहं देवानां पूजनं करोमि.
उत्तमम्.
ग्राहकः वस्तूनि क्रीणाति. ग्राहकः वस्तुनः मिलति और वस्तुनः क्रयणं करोति. ग्राहकः वस्तुनोः क्रयणं करोति. ग्राहकः वस्तूनां क्रयणं करोति.
उत्तमम्.
अहं पुस्तकं पठनं करोमि. अहं पुस्तके पठनं करोमि.
नो पुस्तकशब्दस्य षष्टिविभक्तिरूपं किम्?
पुस्तकस्य पठनं करोमि. पुस्तकानि, करेक्ट?
Can you tell षष्टि forms of पुस्तकशब्दं?
पुस्तकस्य sorry,
पुस्तकस्य पुस्तकयोः पुस्तकानां.
ओके. पुस्तकस्य पुस्तकयोः पुस्तकानि.
ओके, पुस्तकानां.
पुस्तकानां. ओके, थैंक यू.
Yeah, I think you need to be familiar with the forms. Actually, it will be difficult here. अस्तु.
हरि ओम् महोदय. अहं पुत्रं पालयामि. सो इट् बिकम् अहं पुत्रस्य पालनं करोमि. अहं पुत्रयोः पालनं करोमि. अहं पुत्राणां पालनं करोमि.
उत्तमम्.
धन्यवादः.
हरि ओम् महोदय. अहं वस्त्रस्य प्रक्षालनं करोमि. अहं वस्त्रयोः प्रक्षालनं करोमि. अहं वस्त्राणां प्रक्षालनं करोमि.
उत्तमम्. Of course, you will get a forum exercise on the same topic, like if write 5 examples of Kriya Pada Vibhajana with objects actually. Yeah, that's all for today. Thank you all for watching this video online. If there are any questions, if you want to interact with teachers or students, please log into forum.Sanskrit.Today, or you can even join our Telegram group. The link is at the course page. And subscribe to this channel Sanskrit.Today to watch more videos like this, and share this video with your friends and interested people or group, and make use of the comment section below the video to post any suggestions or feedback about this session or the series. And finally, click on the like button of this video, and thank you all for watching this video. Let us meet in the next session. Dhanyavadaha.